and the Cincinnati Bengals. With that, let's get up to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. For the call, we bring in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with the New Orleans Saints. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, Charles Davis. And, Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Dalton, 1st and 10. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this...
And right away, he lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do. Oftentimes you say some guys have a knack for creating turnovers. He forced a fumble last week, forces another one.
And one of my good coaching buddies, Frank Delano, always told me, hey, Davis, creating turnovers is not as much about skill as it is about desire.
Oh, I thought it was going to be will, because will rhyme with skill. Come on, a little bit desire. We'll go in desire.
What are you, the rhyme master now?
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Here we go. Kill.
They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. Ingram's got the first down and more. And did he get in? No, down at the 1-yard line. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Saints have taken the early lead. And this one through the uprights and good. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, wasn't it interesting in our meeting?
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 36 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They go play action here on 1st down. Green's got it over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Here's Dalton. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And now a look at the Saints starting defense.
And the Saints got everything they want out of Marshawn Lattimore and more his rookie season. Yes, the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. But here's the best part. Didn't give up a single touchdown pass all season and made it very difficult for people to complete a pass in his area.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. He drops it off for Bernard. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's second and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
It's second down. Dalton looking. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Jalen Strong, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Mark Ingram now gears up to help lead this offense back out there. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game. All right, it's football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense, but a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be made sometimes on the fly as a defense will shift. Give the center a lot of credit because for the most part, he's got big defensive linemen over his face all game long that he's got to try and block and protect his quarterback and create space for his runner. In this case, he did a really nice job of communicating and executing.
From the gun, it's Breeze. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game with great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. Breeze again here on 2nd and 10. And this is a catch by Ted Ginn. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Ted Ginn, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Returning it, John Ross. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he finds Tyler Croft. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a 1st down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Demario Davis in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running, 3rd down. Dalton here from the gun. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Alex Okafor in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. 3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? Muscles him off. Underneath, this is Bernard. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Here they come, 2nd and 10 now from the 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16, and they will set up shop red zone territory at the 13-yard line. He had a little bit of a turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Bullock will put this one through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Sean Williams there defensively to break that one up.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Back to the air on second down. It's Breeze. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, Preston Brown, there to knock that one away.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Breeze. And this one caught by Dez Bryant. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Getting set to go again, Andy Dalton marches back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure that his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. They'll run it here. This is Buck Allen. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Here's Breeze. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. And that one results in 35 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll run here with Ingram. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Mark Ingram with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Saints add on to their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Second down, Dalton. He gets this one to Boyd. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Dalton gives to Bernard, and that play went nowhere. Losing yardage, it'll be back at the 36. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Call it a gain of 5. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Hey, easy.
They'll try to get the ground game going with Ingram. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
21. Got it. 11.
Breeze to throw on 2nd down. Wide open receiver complete. A big play there on the catch and run. 67 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. On 2nd down, Kamara. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Geno Atkins, the Pro Bowler, in there on the stop.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Jordan Willis in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it'll be 4th down. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, and no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Here's Bernard. Takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Dalton throwing on second down. He completes it to Boyd. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. Andy Dalton now, pretty amazing. 14 of 16 throwing the ball. It's 1st and 10. Passing, it's Dalton. On the right side, caught by Green. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 2nd and short. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field. The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
They look to throw on 3rd with Dalton. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
A 1st down throw coming for Dalton. Flushed out right. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Here's Allen. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
Andy Dalton. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Big 4th down here. It's Dalton. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. C.J. Uzomah, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals able to get this back within a touchdown.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time. Yeah,
because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
And then by touchdown, New Orleans. Ted Ginn, 76 yards. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Lutz good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front, or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Ball on the 30, they'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. He finds Ross right side. It's complete. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Dalton, 1st and 10. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot. Not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his 1st catch. Big reason they're losing right now. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. And Dalton to throw. And Eifert has it. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. 1st and 10 for Dalton. And caught right side, Green. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 10 more there and another first down. Now the Bengals urging everybody to get back to the line of scrimmage. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Green. 12 more yards there and another first down. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Cameron Jordan in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Dalton underneath to Allen. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He's going to let it fly. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're looking at 3rd and the nose of the football. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Easy, easy.
A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 14 there, and that should be enough to get them home free.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles.